I wanted to ask you about Graham Hancock. His theories are increasingly being vindicated by Göbekli Tepe and other archaeological sites, yet we've seen people and organisations linked to the World Economic Forum move in to limit the excavation. Do you think that the history of our ancient past has been covered up?
I don't honestly know what the official World Economic Forum, the authorities' position is on why they've taken the action that they have with the Göbekli Tepe. It does seem strange. It does seem ill-advised to plant trees over a sensitive archaeological site because given time the roots will cause disturbance to buried archaeological remains. It does feel as though there's a concerted attempt to stop the exploration of that site. As I say, I haven't heard the official position on why they might be doing that. I've always been very bemused about the official archaeological community's treatment of Graham Hancock. He's a very interesting man. He's well researched. He spent a lot of time. It's not as if he's just spent 5 minutes cooking up a theory. He's been working for years, and I don't know why the archaeological community won't just engage with him. I think it's a fascinating story that he has to tell. And as you say, the timeline keeps on getting pushed back by sites like Göbekli Tepe and others, which begin to make what Graham has as a thesis look more credible. But why the authorities are responding the way they are, I honestly don't know why they're doing that. I haven't heard the official position.
Do you think if we look more into the truth of our ancient past, that we will discover some very...
I think it's highly possible. I think that anyone that says that that science is finished, that we've understood all we're ever going to understand about a given subject, I think that's always a fallacy. I think the scientific community, the archaeological community, everyone should just retain an open mind. And I think it's highly plausible, highly possible that a thesis like Graham Hancock's has more that's credible about it than is being allowed for at the moment. I don't know why the official community won't engage with him more seriously, rather than just dismissing out of hand what he has to say.
And I'd also like to ask you about your opinion on Winston Churchill. Do you think he was a positive?
I think there was something very insightful that was said either by, I think possibly during that interview with Darryl Cooper and Tucker Carlson, or it may have been one of the responses that's come out since. But there are, and not just in the case of Winston Churchill or World War II, but there are load-bearing myths. There are interpretations of major events that people build a great deal upon, and that if those load-bearing myths were to be knocked out, then it would bring down an edifice. And so academics, historians are very disinclined to see a foundational story interfered with because they've built reputations on it and books have been written about it. But I think it's fair to say that there are load-bearing myths out there that it's maybe not the time quite yet that people are ready to do it, but maybe in 20 years' time, 30 years' time, a lot of what has been understood about the motivations for World War II might be reviewed without some of the high temperatures that people respond with when people challenge the reputation of a man like Winston Churchill. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe in a few decades' time, historians will look back and pick that up.
And on that thread, lots of people believe that, because we've been taught this is the case, that the Nazis were right-wing, when it seems to be they were National Socialists. They were actually left-wing. Is it time we start opening up this conversation about the left-wing nature of National Socialism and even fascism?
There will never be, we'll never get to a point where enough is understood about how the events of 1939 to 1945 unfolded. I would always be in favour of listening to people, even if their ideas are antithetical, even if they're very controversial. Just listen to them, interrogate them, dismiss those ideas if that becomes the logical thing to do, in the face of new research. But I would never be minded to shut anyone down who wants to attempt an alternative interpretation. Let them speak. Freedom of speech and all of the rest of it. If they're wrong, show them where they've gone wrong, but don't dismiss them out of hand.
And how have you found this evening? Have you enjoyed this conference?
It's great. Yeah, I mean, I didn't attend last year. I attended the year before that, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity to meet these people. A lot of people have been denied a voice. A lot of people have felt very frustrated. A lot of people have felt ignored, and something like this is an opportunity for them to gather together with people that persuade them that they haven't gone mad.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like, hit the bell, hit subscribe if you haven't before, and share our content as far and wide as possible to get our message out there. Also consider donating on our Patreon. We only make about 30 quid a week off of Patreon, but we've got loads of bonus content, behind the scenes, word associations with guests, book recommendations and more. Finally, consider coming down to our upcoming Resistance GB Live. You can meet the guests, you can engage. We've got Kate Chemrani supported by fantastic freedom band Whom by Fire. It's Thursday, 31st of October, down at Finsbury Park's The Night Owl. Doors open 5:30. We'll see you there.